courts as well as the clerk's office would like to make a comment to the commissioners and county management and to the citizens. And if we could be allowed at maybe 6.5 minutes. Thank you.
5 minutes.
Thank you.
Well, that's you.
My name is Patricia Burnette, Chastain, address 102 South Main Street, Lewisburg, North Carolina. I was appointed by the Honorable Robert H. Hobgood, Senior Resident Superior Court Judge for the 9th Judicial District on May the 1st of 2013 to the position of Clerk of Court for Franklin County. On May the 9th, I went to check on the records in the basement that I was custodian over. When I previously worked for the Judicial District from 1984 to 1994, I knew court records were in the basement and being maintained there. I was overwhelmed and appalled with what I found. I navigated my way through trash, broken furniture, cleaning supplies, liquor and soda bottles, and as I looked through some of the boxes, I quickly discovered that the age of some very old court documents were there and that I would need some help. I contacted local historians with the Heritage Society. I met with the Heritage Society at their monthly meeting on May the 16th, where one county commissioner was also in attendance. Everyone present at the meeting unanimously agreed that we would work together to address this matter to see what documents might lie in ruin as well as history. It was the Heritage Society that first contacted the North Carolina State Archives to seek guidance in proper handling and the cleaning of the records. I received my first phone call from the North Carolina State Archives on May the 29th of 2013. At no time was the security of the records in jeopardy. The confidential and sensitive records in question were discovered early in the process. These records were separated and secured. During the cleanup and sorting process, we discovered that a pipe was leaking directly onto the worst of the damaged records. With the help of the Franklin County Maintenance, I identified the problem and immediately cut off the unit causing the leak. I researched to find the time frame of when this problem began and found the units were installed between 1999 and 2000. I checked with the authorities on the statute of limitations on the work and the damage area which had resulted. Unfortunately, it had run out and they could not be held accountable. But the problem was fixed and the basement dried up. All agencies were working together and believed we were making progress until it was deemed dangerous and hazardous by the environmental staff at the state level. In all of my actions with this situation, I have been transparent and in complete compliance with the laws of North Carolina and the laws of North Carolina court records and state retention. The North Carolina Archives requested that the Administrative Office of the Courts complete the left side of an AOC A-119 form to be sent in with only court records that I was aware of from a 1964 inventory listed. I questioned the other records in the basement belonging to the many other county departments that had also been discovered being there and asked about their inventory and their list. AOC reported it was the responsibility of each county agency to do so. And as clerk of court, I was and am only the legal custodian of court records only. I completed the left-hand side of the requested form on November the 15th and called the county to find out what type of method of destruction they were proposing to use because there was a block on the form that had to be marked. I was instructed to mark the burning box and I submitted the form to the state. At no time did I check the approval of any boxes. I do not have that authority as clerk of court. A records officer with AOC did that and is the only one that has final authority to sign for any destruction of court records. This was done on November the 21st. When I received the form back from the state, I walked it over to the county office. Court records were destroyed in accordance with the retention schedule that North Carolina Archives issues and North Carolina Administrative Office of the Court endorses, and the records in question were not required by rule or law to be scanned or microfilmed, since they are prior to 1968 when court reform took place here in Franklin County. On Friday morning, December the 13th, I received a telephone call from Mr. Glenn Trinkline with the Mormon Family Society in Salt Lake City, Utah, offering to pick up, pay for the full cleaning, digitizing, and returning the records to our county at no cost to the county. Based on that offer, I provided county officials' telephone numbers work and personal to him. Looking back and realizing the interest not just in our county and state but global as well, I am very regretful for the manner in which this has occurred, this entire situation. We now know that Northumberland County in Pennsylvania has been able to obtain a $1 million grant when they found their records in the basement of their courthouse using Franklin County as a model. North Carolina State Archives will be working diligently to restore and preserve the records that they took from our courthouse basement for the citizens of Franklin County. There are many lessons to learn here. There is much work to be done to help our community overcome this matter and begin the healing process. I urge everyone to work together and move forward in a spirit of cooperation and goodwill for the betterment of our community and the citizens of Franklin County, for whom I am fully and completely devoted to serving. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on this unfortunate event.
Thank you.